Hello everybody, Andrea Twarowski here with Dentalelle Tutoring. I just thought that I would hop on quickly to talk about the board exam that is fast approaching. So of course it has to be after the long weekend. I know, not fair, but please take the time to study this long weekend, okay? You don't have to study all day, every day, but even if you take your textbooks, read them outside or whatever, get some studying done because you need to study before that exam, obviously. But also make sure to get enough sleep because too many people just simply don't get enough sleep and then they wonder why they have a harder time studying the next day, or they wonder why they were reading 6 hours of notes but nothing kind of stuck, right? So you have to make sure to get enough sleep. Now, you might be wondering, well, what can I do to prepare for the board exam? It's next week. I feel like I've studied everything. The best thing to do is to go through mock exam packages, okay? I have tons of them if you need them. That's the best thing to do, because if you go through mock exam questions similar to what will be on the board exam, you're training your brain, okay, how to answer those questions. But more importantly, you're looking to see which topics you still need to study, or which topics you may be saying, oh, well, that part of the mock exam package was super easy, so I don't have to study that because I know, I'm not saying don't study it at all for the next week, but you don't have to spend 6 hours studying one topic that you know. There's no point, because at this point, you need to be studying as best as possible. And that means to be as focused as possible and only study what you need to study. Now, the main topics that I feel that all students do have to look at again and before, about a week before they take the exam, are pharmacology, oral pathology, special needs, and those are the main ones, okay? Notice how I didn't say community. Now, look at community the day before. That's it. But I mean, hopefully you have been studying it now, but you don't have to keep going back to it. And I say this because community is pretty much just based on memorizing. Do you actually understand it? Probably not. But the main things for community is to look at the indices. So look at those again a day before you take the board exam. That's it. Okay, so then that way, if you see something on the board exam in regards to the indices, you can say, okay, well, I just looked at that yesterday. So even if you don't fully remember, you can say, okay, I just looked at that yesterday, so I know this isn't the right one, but this one could be the right answer, so it's just a lot easier for you. Spend the time focusing on those harder types of topics, okay? Now, you should have a sort of range of everything at this point, but if you're thinking, okay, what are the few topics that I need to look at now, since I have a week left? I always say pharmacology, oral pathology, and special needs. Of course, there's other things on the exam too, so make sure to go through everything. But if you just need to pick something, then go through those, because those topics students have the hardest time on, okay? Always. And if you need help, let me know, because I have lots of mock exam packages to help you, including I did the board exam boot camp on Monday night, which was a 2 full-hour live tutoring where I went through tons of questions. There's literally about 400 slides of questions and answers. It's awesome. And if you buy the board exam bootcamp package, that I can add the link to the bottom of the video here, but that includes everything. So it includes 400 slides of mock exam type questions. So you go through a multiple choice question. Don't move on until the next slide until you think of the answer. Move on so then you can see what the answer is. And there is a live video attached to that too. So you will actually hear me talking and sort of explaining why this answer is the most correct, why this one's correct, why this one's wrong, and why this one, well, could have been correct, but it's not the best answer. So I explain everything. So it's pretty awesome, because sometimes you're at the point where you're thinking, okay, I don't want to read any more textbooks. I don't want to read any more notes. I just need to listen. So that is why the board exam bootcamp is perfect, because you will actually hear me talking to you for 2 hours. There's video 1 and then there's video 2. So 2 hours each time. So that's 4 hours of me just talking about mock exam questions and answers, plus sort of teaching you how to pick apart the answers where you're thinking, okay, well, 2 of these answers are correct, but how do I pick which one is the most correct? It is always by looking through the question and picking out key points, but then looking through the answers and picking out those sort of hidden, I guess, points in the answer where it's not the most correct. So I teach you all of that. So if you need help, let me know. I will post the link at the bottom of the video here. It will be lots of studying for the long weekend, but it will be worth it, because you will learn everything and you will not have to say, okay, I need to bring 10 textbooks to the cottage, or I need to bring all of my notes and binders and textbooks to the cottage. No, none of that. You can sign up for the board exam bootcamp, and you don't have to bring any of that, because I do the hard work for you and I teach you guys the whole time. Plus, attached to that is, like I said, those 400 slides of questions. So if you're tired of listening to me teach you, that's okay. Just stop it and then read the PowerPoint slides that are attached. 400 slides, you guys. So that's tons of stuff, right? Tons of stuff. So happy studying, good luck, and let me know if you need anything at all.